Angelo. When you learn, teach, and when you get, give. Welcome to Conversations with Verdel Jones. I'm your host, Verdel Jones. And being an educator at heart, I'm dedicated to sharing conversations that inform and enlighten in the hopes that you learn something you may not have known. I'm so excited about our show today. We have some great guests. We have someone in our educator spotlight. We have someone that you have seen on Strong Island television before, so we are so happy to have her here. But before we get started, I wanted to thank a couple of people. First, our sponsors. I want to thank our partnership sponsors, Nancy Vargas Johnson, DMAC Bri-V Jiu-Jitsu System, and Darby Home Healthcare. Without their help and support, we would not be able to produce Conversations with Verdel Jones. So I want to really thank them for seeing the vision and and supporting us. So if you're watching out there, make sure you share this video with everyone so they have the opportunity to see what we're going to be doing today, because like I said, we have some great guests and I'm excited to bring them to you. Also, as you can see, I have a Conversations with Verdel Jones mug, and you can get a Conversation with Verdel Jones mug. You can be part of the conversation. You can go to my website at verdeljones.com, be part of the show. So while you're watching, you can have a little coffee or tea in your Conversations with Verdel Jones mug. So check that out, verdeljones.com. Again, make sure you're sharing this video so everybody can check it out. Also, I wanted to let you know that we are going to continue, or we're going to once again have our Write, Rhyme, and Recite collective. So I want you guys to make sure you save the date. So on June 9th, 2019, we are going to have our Write, Rhyme, and Recite collective again. So just for those of you who don't know about the program, we had a Poetry Slam scholarship, and we awarded 3 students a total of $3,250. What they did was they recorded themselves doing a poetry, and then they were invited to the Write, Rhyme, and Recite collective to compete for first, second, and third prize. So in addition to that, we also had authors that were able to present their book and sell their book at the event as well. It was these students that we had were absolutely amazing. Their semester is about to end. They went to outstanding schools. They were smart, bright, articulate, and just, looking at these students, I feel so confident that we are in good hands for our future. They're just dynamic people who are engaged, and it was a real treat. So save the date, June 9th, 2019. We're going to be doing it again. Last year we had it at Touro Law College in Central Islip. It was on a Sunday. It was a great day. It was 12 o'clock. We started. So you want to make sure you save the date. If there are any seniors or parents who are watching, you have senior students that are in 12th grade this year and planning to go to college next year, and they're creatives, look out for the application. The scholarship application will probably go out the beginning of the year. I'm getting it ready now. So it'll go out the beginning of the year. They have to upload a video and recite their poetry. And for any authors out there, if any authors are interested in participating, you can share your book and also sell your book at the event. We had awesome authors there as well who have been on Conversations with Verdel Jones. Part of that is if they participate in the Write, Rhyme, and Recite collective, they also get to come to Conversations with Verdel Jones and share their book. So if anybody's interested in that, again, you can reach me at verdeljones.com. My email is verdeljones@deliteach.com. And all the contact information and all of that is all my social media, so you can contact me that way. The last thing I wanted to kind of talk about was our educator spotlight. So last week, the last time we had an educator here that we honored, and I think it's so important to acknowledge our educators working with our students, or even just educating adults on different topics and different things. Education doesn't stop when you leave school. So we honored and highlighted a special educator last time, Venice Richards. She was here, and we had a great time with her. It was very exciting, and we're going to do it again today. We have an outstanding educator that we are going to honor. So I want to thank him for being here. So I'm excited to bring him. And this segment is sponsored by Nancy Vargas Johnson. So she's sponsoring the segment today. So we are going to have our first guest in a moment. But what I'd like to do is take a quick break. And when we come back, we are going to have Keisha Christian here in the studio. Hello, welcome back to Conversations with Verdel Jones. As you could see, we have Miss Keisha Christian here in the house.
Hello.
We are so excited to have her here today. Keisha is doing great things in our community by sharing awareness of optimal health. In her book, Healthy Gems, we're going to talk about that a little bit today too. She shares self-care tips for busy individuals. And in 2014, Keisha created Keisha's Gems LLC, which is a multifaceted healing product line, which includes natural soaps and moisturizers. And we have some of the products here. You might not be able to see them, so we're going to shift them around so you make sure we can really see them. Deodorant, Reiki. It's
Reiki.
Reiki. Okay. Reiki. I'm going to ask you about Reiki because clearly I don't know what that is.
Reiki.
So Reiki infused gemstone jewelry and holistic health coaching. And she is also an educator and, as I said before, an author. So welcome to Conversations with Verdel Jones. We're excited to have you.
Yes, I'm excited to be here.
I know you participated in our shoppers showcase here at Strong Island. So I watched that. Wasn't it fun?
Yes.
Yeah, it was. I watched it. I was on a plane. No, I was in an airport and my plane was delayed about 8 hours. It started 6 hours and it became 8 hours, so that's what I did. I watched, while I was there, I watched the Shopper Showcase and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I saw your comments.
Yeah. Right. So let's talk a little bit about Keisha's Gems. I know you brought some products with you, but why did you decide to create your business?
Oh, well, this started back in 2000. I should say my journey started back in 2007 when I decided to live a more natural lifestyle. I was experiencing health problems and I was going to the doctor and all sorts of things, and I was going for tests and they couldn't find out what was wrong with me.
Right.
So I went the traditional, Western medicine route.
So because the doctors couldn't figure out what was wrong, you said, let me take another direction.
Yes.
And address the symptoms that you were having with some holistic treatments.
So I actually went to an herbalist.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so from that I started to feel better. And then I started, what she did was she gave me books to read. And I started doing research on holistic medicine and herbs and things like that. So that's where it started.
And that's where it started. So you... And you know what, when I talk to a lot of business owners, and a lot of times, when people create businesses, it's really based on a need that they are trying to fill. They can't find it themselves, so they go out and, and they do it themselves. So you had mentioned, and I know I'm going to say this wrong again, Reiki.
Reiki.
Yeah. Reiki. All right. You're also, let's talk a little bit about your products. I want to make sure that everybody can see them. So there we go. There we go. Now, I will say that I can attest to the quality of all of these products. We just bought the deodorant. So my husband's using it and I'm using it.
Nice.
I think maybe it was like 2 days and we're like, this is awesome. So, and it's cold, so because I know it's a deodorant, not an antiperspirant.
Yes.
So it's been cold, so it's been good.
Yeah,
you haven't been sweating, but still, it's a great product, and the soaps I absolutely love. They are amazing. I have sensitive skin. No problems, no worries at all. So tell us about your products.
Well, the products that I create here at Keisha's Gems are made of natural, organic ingredients. These two products right here with the deodorant that Verdel just mentioned, and the soap, I have Baby Gem soap. They're actually, those are actually my best sellers on my website. The Baby Gems is made of calendula, and calendula is great for those who experience rashes, lacerations of the skin, psoriasis, eczema, all those things. It's a very mild herb. I also am an herbalist, so I like to incorporate herbs into the products that I make.
So you went to an herbalist, and then you became an herbalist.
I became one. Yes.
I love that. I love that. I love that. Again, the need. You see the need there, or a passion that you have about something, and then you take it on. So that's great. What does a herbalist do for people?
Well, basically, an herbalist will help people. They'll help people with either making their own botanical medicines or educating them about herbs and how they work in the body.
So it's very individualized.
Yes.
And what you do is, so say for example, I would come to you and say I have, I don't know, stomach pain or joint issues, or you would say, well, these herbs, and we can put these together.
Well, not so much, because I don't treat herbs like medicine.
Oh, okay.
For me, herbs are food.
Oh,
yeah,
gotcha.
So I would treat it as such.
Oh, okay.
So this is something you would cook with and you would incorporate into your lifestyle.
Okay, so it's more, it's.
And then I would have to dive a little deeper as to why you're having stomach pain.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So looking at what's going on in your life, maybe you're nervous.
Right.
Maybe something's coming up in your life that's making you
anxious,
have these pains.
Right, exactly. Okay, that makes sense, because and we're going to talk about the book in our next segment, but I did read through the book, and all, great tips in there, and we're going to talk about that later. All right, so so let's get into what a Reiki. Oh my goodness.
Reiki master.
It's Reiki.
Yes.
What is a Reiki?
Okay.
I don't know why I can't say that word. What does a Reiki master do?
So Rei meaning universal life force energy, and the key is energy, excuse me.
Okay.
So those two together, I'm using universal life force energy. In some religious systems, they might call that using the Holy Spirit, especially in Christianity, or even in the church when they talk about laying hands on someone, you're praying over them. So basically, I'm using that life force energy, that energy to bring healing to someone. And I've had clients that have told me that they have experienced healing.
Wow.
Even my own parents, they constantly want me to do Reiki on them.
Really?
Yeah, because they said they feel better.
Wow.
Yeah, after I do Reiki. I've had one person in particular, I remember it was a chef, and his hand was wrapped up, and I said, what happened to your hand? He's like, oh, I hurt myself. So I did Reiki on his hand, and then he called me a few days later. He was like, I don't know what you did, but my hand feels better. So, people think it's me, but I'm like, no, it's not me. It's the divine in me that's working.
Wow,
through.
that's working through you.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, wow. So you have to go through training, I would imagine, to do this, because you just can't put your hands on anybody and do, you have to know what you're doing. Right.
Yeah, exactly. So I did go for training. There are different levels. So you have Reiki 1, Reiki 2, Reiki 3 in some traditions, and then Reiki 4 become master.
Wow.
Yeah,
so you're a master.
Yes, I'm a master.
That's
now.
awesome. That is awesome. So people can, now do they have to have a specific challenge, or like who would seek you out? Like, who would seek out a Reiki?
Well, some people, like, it could even be someone who's receiving chemo, because I have done Reiki on people who are getting chemo, and they tell me after they feel better.
Wow.
Like after treatment, you know how they feel afterwards.
Yes.
So like whatever I'm doing, it like calms them, because usually I'll put people to sleep. They'll fall out.
Really?
This relaxes them.
Now, do you go to them, or do they come to you?
I've gone to people. No, so far no one's ever really come to me.
Oh, okay, so you go to them.
So I go to them.
Okay,
yeah.
right, and I guess they would feel probably more comfortable maybe in their own environment, I would guess, especially if you're sick or something like that as well.
And now, well, actually, people could actually come to me because I have the space for it. At the time, I didn't have the space, but now I actually have the space, so people can come to me.
That's great. So now I read in your bio that you are an educator. I mean, you educate people around, holistic living and all of that. But you were a teacher.
Yeah.
Are you still a teacher?
I'm still teaching, but I'm more so in the private sector. So I work with students in private schools.
Okay.
And so a lot of these schools don't have a special ed department because I am a special ed teacher.
Oh, okay. Oh, so
yeah,
you like
so they don't have special ed, so they hire a sets provider, and I go in there and I work with the students.
So you're like a push in, or
exactly,
I got you.
Or pull out.
Or pull out, right? Okay. Oh, that's great. So you still you're tapped into that.
Yes, I
but
still am.
This is like I said, the products that you have are
extension of myself.
Exactly. Also share about the candles, because I know the candles are something that you. I was watching a live that you had, because Keisha also does lives, and she mentioned her candles. So if you can talk about that.
I have handmade candles that I'm selling on my website for the holidays. These candles, it was suggested actually by my mom.
Okay.
that I make candles because I also do handmade. I also do custom baskets. So she was like, "That's something that I should incorporate."
To put in the baskets.
Yeah. So when I started, I liked making candles. So when I started making it, family and friends was like, "Oh, this is good." Just like how my business started. When I started,
right, it was probably family and friends that bought, and then now
not even bought. I was giving it away.
I had a woman the same thing. She was giving it away, and she's like,
Yeah, but I had so many people telling me, "You should sell this.
You should sell it.
Why are you giving this away for
Exactly.
free?" So that's what I started doing.
That's awesome. Now, they're all natural products. What is the process to make the products?
The soap?
Yeah, like the soap. Yeah, for example, like how do you? I wouldn't even think to. How do you make them?
Oh, basically, it's science. So thanks to my father.
Okay.
My father is like, he loves science.
Okay.
So chemistry and all of that. So even with him, he would tell me or give me suggestions of things I could add to it.
Okay.
And then I learned about different oils and butters and which one has the better foaming, will make a better foaming agent.
Okay.
Which would be better not to dry out the skin. So I went and did a lot of research.
Right.
Yeah.
I have the shampoo bar.
Yes.
I absolutely love it. I'm like a shampoo bar. I'll try. You know what? As a matter of fact, I think you might have threw in the shampoo bar because I would have never ordered a shampoo bar.
I did. Oh, okay.
I think you did.
No, sometimes I give a free gift.
And I got that, and I used it. I'm like, this is awesome.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I'm so
I love
happy.
Your products. They're great. They're great.
Thank you.
So before we take a break, what I want to do is, I know you also sell jewelry as well. I see you're wearing a beautiful piece now.
Yes.
Nope, your necklace.
Yep.
Yes. So tell us a little bit about your jewelry and how that kind of ties into all of this.
Well, the jewelry has to do with dealing with crystals. So crystals, some people believe that it has metaphysical properties to it. So being that I am a Reiki master, I also infuse that healing energy within the crystals. So I've actually had testimonials of people tell me they actually felt calmer once they put the jewelry on, or they just, like, it blessed their life. It's like, you go on my business page, you'll see some of the comments people have left just regarding my jewelry. So I just think that's amazing.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
How can people purchase your products?
Oh, they could go on my website, www.keishagems.com. That's KEISHAGEMZ.com.
Okay, so we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to talk to Keisha about her book.
Dropping gems From Keisha Christian, she's on a mission, sharing information, knowledge for soul, body and mind, dropping gems. KeishaGems.com, KeishaGems.com.
Welcome back. We still have Keisha Christian here in the studio. Her video, her commercial that we just played, I've been singing that all week. It's very catchy. I love it. So, this is our Enlightened segment, and it's greater knowledge and understanding. And as I said in our last segment, Keisha is an educator, not only with our students, but she is also an educator when it comes to teaching individuals about holistic health.
Yes.
And your book, Healthy Gems, it seems like a natural progression to, the work you do with all your natural products. You also put out some jewelry so you guys can see the jewelry as well.
Yes.
So why did you decide to write the book?
So many of my customers was telling me that I should write a book. I heard it so much, so then I said, you know what?
I'm going to write a book.
I'm going to write a book. So especially for individuals who are busy.
Yeah.
So this book is mostly serves as a resource guide, something you could keep with you. That's why it's a short read. It has simple recipes in there, things that you could do to incorporate into your lifestyle.
Absolutely.
So you have a better quality of life.
So I did read through the book, and there was a couple of things that kind of jumped out. So I want to talk a little bit about that. One of them was hydration and the importance of hydration. Why is that so important for people?
Well, you need it for your cells. In order for your cells to function properly, and if we think on a micro level as to a macro level, you have to think about when you nourish your cells, your body will function much better. So hydration is key.
Right. And does it matter what type of water we drink? Because I started drinking alkaline water. My friend Phoenix Love, shout out to Phoenix Love, started talking about the.
She's my sacred sister.
Oh, well, I'm sure she is. I'm sure she's awesome. I love Phoenix. And one of the things she was talking about was alkaline water.
Yes.
So water's water, but it really isn't.
No.
So
it's
what's
not.
the difference between that and like a Poland Spring water?
Well, it has to do
not
with,
to name names, but
it has to do with the pH in the water, and then you also have to think about Poland Spring. Well, I'll say bottled water.
Bottled water, okay.
Bottled water that we get from the grocery store. You
Yes.
have to think about too the container that it's in, and also the things that could be seeping into the water when it's going from one temperature extreme to the next.
To the next, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. So I started buying alkaline water, and I've been drinking it maybe for about 3 weeks, and I have stomach issues. Any gallstones and GERD, all kind of stuff. And I started drinking it for 3 weeks. I haven't had those issues. Does it help with that? Because I've heard conflicting things about it, but does it help with stomach issues that somebody might have?
It may.
Okay.
It may help with that. So it all depends upon the person.
Okay.
It's on an individual basis.
And what's the purpose of the alkaline water and the pH, and what difference does that make in your system?
Well, we have to think about the pH of alkaline water. It's more alkaline.
Okay.
That's why it's called That's why it's called alkaline water, as opposed to water with a higher pH. It might be too acidic. And then when you're putting acidic things into your body, that's when disease could take root.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's probably why your stomach issue improved.
Right. So it's preventative in a way,
Exactly.
also, right? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. You have a lot of sticking with the hydration theme. You have a lot of recipes in your book. The health benefits. What are the health benefits to infused water? I mean, infused water is delicious. It really is.
Yes.
And it's fun because you can have different combinations of it. What are the health benefits to that?
Well, to some people, drinking water might be boring.
Yeah.
Because I said it has no
Some
taste
people,
to it.
right,
So
yeah, yeah.
actually adding a little lemon to it. Because I sometimes I switch it up. I don't just drink plain water.
Okay.
I might add some lemon to my water. So I could have that flavor.
Right.
Add some cucumbers and
Oh,
lemons.
so good.
So you have a
Right.
nice, you have a nice flavor to
So
it.
good.
So it's more fun to drink.
It is.
And then not only that, you're infusing minerals as well as vitamins into your water naturally.
And
so
you
you're
can-
making your own vitamin water.
That's right, exactly. And you can infuse the alkaline water as well. I guess, right?
Yeah, you
right.
can.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, because I did that for a little bit, and I did strawberries, and like you said, the cucumbers, sometimes mint, limes. I mean, and it is so good. Let it sit overnight. It's
Exactly.
It's fun. I don't really drink I don't drink juices and things, but it makes the water more interesting.
Yes.
You know. So it is important for people to stay hydrated. You want to make sure you do that, and that was one of the things that you had mentioned in the book. The other thing was thoughts, meditation, and prayer. Explain how you can figure this out on all levels. In other words, that you have a section in here about the meditation and prayer, and not everybody believes in prayer, but there's meditation in your thoughts. How is that? How did you tie that into the book?
Because I was thinking about living holistically. Most of the time people think about living holistically, they're just focusing on the diet.
Okay.
In order to really live a holistic lifestyle, we have to incorporate the Trinity, your mind, body, and spirit.
Okay.
So being spirit, you need to do things to feed your spirit. So when I said thoughts, thinking about what type of thoughts are you thinking? Do you have negative self-talk going on? Have you forgiven, or have you asked for forgiveness? Because that's all a part of holistic living.
Okay.
Meditation. I gave steps in the book on how to meditate if anyone's interested in meditating, and prayer, depending on what religion you
right.
are.
Exactly. It's interesting how your thoughts can really impact every aspect of your life. And having those negative thoughts, how do you recommend that someone get rid of those negative thoughts? Because they're there for a reason. People have negative thoughts for different reasons, but how does someone get rid of those negative thoughts? Like, what are some quick strategies that people can do to think of something different, or whatever it might be?
Well, one of the strategies that I would suggest someone use when a negative thought comes in, even I would say for me, when I say, "Oh, I can't do this," and to counteract that thought, I would say, I can't do this now, but I'm going to learn, and I'm getting better every day. These are even things I tell my students to do. As soon as they say can't, they know no negative self-talk around me. I can't do this now, but I'm getting better, and I'm learning to do this better every day. So counteract it.
Right, because it manifests itself in your health. I mean, it's like toxic.
It is. It is.
And it doesn't leave room for the positive thoughts, so it's people I don't think really are cognizant of how they think, how in other words, they're not aware of how their thoughts can affect them, and that's important. Another thing you mentioned in the book was to get up and move.
Yes, exercise.
Exercise. Well, okay, so if I'm at a job all day and I'm sitting, right? And I know you talked about this, because a lot of people, they have jobs where they're sitting all day.
Yeah.
Exactly. What are some simple things people can do if they have that type of job?
Well, I would get up and stretch. If you get up and stretch, another exercise, even moving your eyes. I mean, moving, keeping your your head still, but moving your eyes, so you're exercising your the optic nerve. Even just stretching your arms out, things like that. Because those are things I do. I tend to sit a lot at work too. So
exactly.
These are things I do.
Yeah, I try to get up and walk around, or go chat with somebody that's in another office, or I've been trying to do better with parking further. Just things like that, because you don't realize how much you actually sit all day long, and it's nice to. And some people might not have the opportunity to do that, but those simple things that they can do, they can stretch at their desk.
Yeah, they can stretch. Because I don't know if they'd be able to have time really to go
right. Yeah, I can get up and walk whenever I want, but some people, like you said, right, they might not have that opportunity. So there's some good tips, because movement is very important, and exercise is something that, I used to, well, exercise is a challenge sometimes. I don't mind doing it, but it's doing it.
Yeah, that's the hard part.
It really is, and especially with a busy, lifestyle. But that's an excuse sometimes too. I'm too busy to exercise. So you have a coaching series. I saw something about a coaching series. Tell us a little bit about what that is.
Oh well, my free coaching series is on my my YouTube. I actually have a YouTube channel by the same name of my business, Keisha Gems LLC. And the series is called Dropping Gems. Yeah.
All right.
So in the series, what I do is I'm talking about different things like forgiveness, letting go, recognizing your blessing, things like that.
Right. Exactly.
I discuss.
Nice.
And I also am going to be having a podcast coming out soon.
Oh, nice.
Yes,
oh, congratulations.
By the same name, Dropping
Gems. I love everything. You have it all. I love that.
Yes.
I love that. So, are there any upcoming events, book signing? I know you had a book signing back in like November 17th.
Yes, I did.
Okay. So do you have any book signings coming up?
I don't have any, it's in the works. I don't have a particular date yet, but we are negotiating what date would be best for me to go. So I have more book signings coming up.
Good. And how was your book signing?
It was great. I must say I was so happy. The community at large really was very supportive.
That's awesome. That is so awesome.
Yeah.
So how can people reach out to you if they want to buy your products and they want to get your book? We do have your contact page there. I think we have all the information there, but how can people reach out to you?
Well,
best ways.
The best way to reach out to me is on my website, www.keishagems.com. Like I said, KeishaGemz.com. Or if you're interested in purchasing my book, it's available on Amazon, and it's also available on my website. I'm having a sale right now. The book is $15 on my website, and if you make any purchases over $20, you receive free shipping by using the code FREE SHIPPING, all lowercase letters.
Nice. Thank you. And you had, you did something for like the holidays. So that's when I said, you know what, I'm going to get my soaps. I'm going to get my deodorant.
Yes. My Cyber Monday sale.
That's Cyber Monday. That was great.
Yes.
That was really good. So make sure that you support Keisha. Her book is awesome, really quick. Like you said, it's like a guide. You can just pull it out and use the information. The soaps you will absolutely love. People are getting those for Christmas gifts.
Yes.
What do you hope people get out of your book? What is one thing you hope that people get out of your book?
Well, to know that just because you live a healthy lifestyle doesn't mean that you can't incorporate some holistic elements into your lifestyle. Very simply, by making a few life changes.
Okay. Well, I want to thank Keisha for being here. Excited to have you.
Yes,
thank you.
I'm excited to be here.
Awesome. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to have our educator spotlight. Welcome back to Conversations with Verdel Jones. As you see, I have my next guest here who is in our educator spotlight, Mr. William Moss. So, Billy Moss graduated from Brentwood High School in 1995 with honors, and he was also the class salutatorian and president. Since then, Billy has earned his BA with honors from Harvard College in Children's Studies and Mathematics Education, and his master's from Harvard's Graduate School of Education, where he majored in moral and social development and character education. Billy has completed his doctoral coursework in educational leadership, earning both school district administrator and bilingual education certifications. He taught mathematics in Brentwood School District for 11 years and now serves as the Director of Academic Affairs at Lawrence High School. In December of 2001, he was featured in a cover story about him returning from Harvard back to Brentwood. And in February of 2001, Fox News broadcast a segment about Billy's return as well. In May of 2009, he was featured on the DirecTV television series Hometown Heroes for his community service and work accomplishments. He is a co-founder of Brentwood Alumni Student Association, Incorporated. He has served as the president of Brentwood Youth Activities. He has been an advocate for student leadership, having served as a student council advisor and having been elected to the New York State Council for Leadership and Student Activities, where he played a leading role in the execution of local and state leadership conferences for high school students. Billy also tutors mathematics and SAT prep. I would really reach out to him for those things, because we know SAT prep is difficult, and Harvard man, I think, would be appropriate for that, and mathematics as well. And he's the on-site director of the Rising Star Summer Leadership Camp, which teaches character, mathematics, and English language arts in a mentoring environment. In addition, Billy is the president of the Islip Town branch of the NAACP and has won various awards on both the regional and national levels. So we are so excited to have you here. We are going to take,
glad to be here.
Thank you. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we are going to talk to Billy Moss. Well, we're really taking a quick break.
Looking for a way to promote yourself or business? Do you need a quick and easy way for your clients or audience to see what you're about? Myanmar Productions is the solution to your promotional needs. A video on a landing page can help increase conversions by 80% or more. And marketers who use video grow revenue 49% faster than non-video users. With our personal attention to detail, we will create a video that will help you promote yourself or business professionally and attract the attention of potential customers. 64% of consumers make a purchase after watching branded social videos, and an initial email with the video receives an increased click-through rate by 96%. We create videos for business owners, authors, speakers, and more. From storyboarding and voiceovers to editing, Myanmar Productions will work with you to create a promotional video that will increase your visibility and generate revenue. Family is our foundation, and with Myanmar Productions, our family is there for you. For a free consultation, contact us at myanmarproductions@gmail.com or call us at 516-289-4947.
Welcome back to Conversations with Verdel Jones. We are here with Billy Moss. He is in our educator spotlight tonight, and I'm so excited to have him. Excellent educator, community involvement, and you are the type of individual that just jumps in and does what needs to be done. So we honor you for that.
Thank you.
You're not only in our educator spotlight, but you're also in our inform segment, because you really have community roots that are far-reaching. So we want to acknowledge that as well. Sure. So for our a little gift for our educator and spotlight.
Whoa, okay, I didn't know I was getting a gift.
So this is for you, and I want to thank
you.
You're welcome. And I want to
open it now.
You can open. Yeah. I want to. While he's doing that, I want to thank Alicia Fergaris Lampert for nominating you for.
Well, thank you.
For Educator Spotlight.
Oh, right.
And it's a $50 gift certificate to Staples.
To Staples, that what every educator needs.
That's right.
It's like our second home away from home. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. And I also want to thank Nancy Vargas Johnson. She was the sponsor for our Educator Spotlight, so I want to thank her as well. So thanks for being here.
Yes.
So you are an educator currently in the Lawrence School District.
I am.
And did you always want to be a teacher?
It's so funny that you asked. The answer is definitely yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think I decided to become a teacher when I was about 13 years old.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
I decided
Okay.
back then that I
Wow.
wanted to be an educator. I was doing some tutoring.
Okay.
And, I just really had a knack for it. I liked what I was
Yeah.
doing. And I felt like I was really successful at breaking things down for folks and explaining it. And at that age, I was tutoring young people my age, younger, and adults.
Wow.
Yeah, so
Wow.
I really found my niche back then. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I knew that's what I wanted to do.
That's interesting because sometimes, people fall into it. Then sometimes people, they would teach their brothers and sisters and cousins, when they were little. So that's interesting. You knew you wanted to do that.
I did.
And was it always mathematics that you wanted to teach?
That was always my strongest subject.
That was your strongest subject.
Came
Okay.
the easiest to me. So, when I decided that I wanted to be a teacher, math was definitely the subject I wanted to
That
teach.
you wanted
yeah.
to go into. So we mentioned in the bio that you went to Harvard.
I did.
What were, that's a okay, so nobody gets in Harvard. Let's put that out there, okay? Now your kids are lucky now because now they're blessed, I should say, because legacy. They got some legacy there.
Yeah, well, that might help. I don't know.
It'll help.
It's a little harder to get in today than it was 20 years ago.
But legacy definitely helps. Definitely
Probably.
helps. So how did the academics at Harvard prepare you not only to be an educator, but to do the work that you do in our community? Like, did Harvard allow you to have a voice, to be able to get involved in the community? Is that just who you are? How did Harvard kind of shape you that way?
Sure,
Yeah.
absolutely. Harvard was tough and had a lot of opportunity.
Right, yeah.
One of the things I was able to do there was design my own major. They have a special concentrations department for students like me who wanted to do something different than the average Harvardian. And so at the college, I designed my major in mathematics, education, and children's studies.
Right.
And so I was able to kind of blend everything I was really interested in doing
Which is amazing.
there, which was very unique to this day, probably, and really, holistically shaped, my understanding of pedagogy, of child psychology.
Right. Yeah. That's you need that. You need that as an educator. Yeah.
And as a mathematician,
Right,
what works in the mind. So I was I was blessed to be able to go there and apple pick like the best courses and these cutting edge professors. And it was
exciting.
It was exciting. It still kind of gives it the tingles, It was a good
Right,
experience.
exactly. And you know what? The thing that I love what you're saying now, and probably with most students who go to Ivies, top tier schools, that you understand the importance of education. You're not taking it for granted. That you understand that creating this major for yourself, the importance of it and how it will impact. That to me is key. I love that. I really do. So as an educator, what has been your proudest moment?
Ooh, my proudest moment. I would say helping another Brentwood alum get into Harvard. I think that was that was probably the proudest moment definitely as a teacher.
Right.
I have some really proud moments as an administrator. I have a lot more freedom as an administrator to be proud.
Right.
But it's when you're a teacher, it's the individual work you do with students that stands out.
It does.
And so even though this young lady was not my direct student, I didn't teach her in class. I was her student council advisor.
Oh, okay.
And just being able to identify her at a young age and coach her on how to get into Harvard.
Right.
And she was such an open spirit and sponge for the information. And she got in and she graduated and she did well. And that's the kind of legacy
exactly
that never ends.
Right,
and
absolutely.
So it's
and
a
I love
really proud moment for me.
And I love the fact that you say you started at a young age to to work with her, to kind of, in our district, we're trying to think of ways to do exactly that. We have great kids, smart kids, but they don't go to top tier schools. They're bright kids because they don't have that grooming, so to speak, early on. So what we're doing is identifying students early on.
That's great.
And saying, hey, you have potential. Let's work with that.
You can always call me. I'm
all right.
I'm down for the cause.
I love it. I love it. So you're bilingual.
I
so
am.
what language do you? And I know you're fluent, right? What other language? You are
comfortably. I speak comfortably.
What language?
Spanish.
Spanish. Okay.
Yeah.
And who? You inspire so many people. In the work that you do and the lives that you are able to impact in a positive way. Who inspires you?
My mom.
Yeah.
Yeah, my mom inspired me. I mean, she was just a hardworking, very, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, stable, consistent person.
Right.
And one day I hope to grow up to be like her. Right. She's good like that. So my mom definitely inspires
and
me.
she I know she believes strongly in education and the importance of education as well. And I think that's an important thing also, that having our children understand, and we had a conversation, before we went live, talking about education and the value of education and understanding that. How can we, as educators, have our students realize that? And not even our students, our parents. How do you
a little bit of
do
everybody.
that? Yeah.
We kind of live in a virtual society, and it's getting more and more virtual by the minute. And so I think, getting down to the nuts and bolts of things sometimes, and opening up the treasure chest and letting people look inside, or the toolbox and letting people look inside and actually see what's going on.
Right.
Intricately will help young people a lot. One thing that I push in my work is that students understand the value of their education, the literal value.
Right.
How much is this costing? Public education is a luxury, right? I mean, students go to school for free.
That's right.
For 13 years, sometimes 14 years.
Right.
And so there's a cost factor to that. I mean, taxpayers, we all pay upwards of $20,000 to $30,000 per student.
Right.
To go to these schools. And I break it down for them by the minute. How this 35 to 47 minute class or 50-minute class that you're sitting in, how much is it costing you to be here?
Right.
And I think when students see that
That's an interesting way
that
to
dollar
think of it.
sign.
Right.
You cut class today, or you didn't attend school, and it costs.
Look how much money.
It cost the district $175
Wow.
for you to not be sitting in that seat for the day.
Right.
Let's look at all the days you missed and,
Right.
and
Add that up.
and the 20 days and how
Right.
Interesting. It's well over $2,000 that
Right.
you wasted just by
Wow.
not sitting there. And you wonder why you're broke, or you wonder why you're not,
That's interesting. I like
doing
that.
anything in your life. But the very easiest thing that you could have done, which is make money in your mind,
Show up.
you decided not to do.
Right.
So those are some things that I talk to students about, as I
interesting.
mentor them in school.
I like that. Show them the money.
Show them the money. That's right, because that's real.
That's real. Right, exactly. Talk a little bit about the work you're doing in Lawrence with the, I think it's My Brother's Keeper initiative.
Yeah, My Brother's Keeper, awesome program.
Yeah, let's talk, the silos, right? Talk about that and what that means.
Sure. So the Obama administration created a funding source called My Brother's Keeper, and the whole point of it is to educate boys of color.
Right.
Statistically across the country. Doesn't matter what community you're in. Doesn't matter what income bracket you're in.
Isn't that something?
Boys of color are over-suspended, undereducated, have lower GPAs, lower standardized test scores. The list goes on and on.
Yeah.
And so, are guilty before innocent.
Right. Yeah.
The list goes on and on.
Yeah.
And so the impact of those statistics, or the impact in the statistics, is very real. So My Brother's Keeper puts forth funding for people to creatively think about ways to diminish those effects.
Right.
And so I wrote a grant for family and community engagement, where in the grant I wrote in a novel program, one that I created called Silos, Seminars in Lieu of Suspensions.
Got it. Right.
And so it's meant to give parents a choice between the suspension, between the time a suspension comes down and it actually happening. The parent has a choice on whether or not they want their young person to be suspended, or whether or not they want to attend a nighttime seminar along with their son or daughter that is focused on the incident, whatever it was.
Right, whatever the behaviors or whatever it might be.
So I created 3 silos, or 3 different seminars.
Okay.
One is on attendance and establishing good, building good attendance. And the other one is on relationships, building good relationships.
With everyone in their circle?
Well, a lot of times broken relationships are what cause the issues,
Right.
whether it's fighting or arguing or whatever it is that they're getting suspended
Or
for.
something even at home. Right.
And respect of personhood and property. Obviously, if you're graffitiing the outside of the school, you don't respect it.
Exactly.
And so we send those kind of incidents to nighttime seminars as well.
And what's been the impact on the program?
I think it's been a tremendous impact.
That's great.
It's such a humanizing
that's
experience.
True. Right.
Instead of being a dehumanizing experience, which is what suspensions are. We suspend because it was written into law probably over 100 years ago, right?
Yeah.
So here we are.
Things have not changed. That's education.
Using a method of discipline
punitive,
that certainly comes before, I don't know, the dawn of television.
Right.
I don't know. I want to say electricity, but I'm not sure.
It's true. It's so true.
It could be, these are methods that are very archaic.
A lot of them are. Yes, absolutely.
Certainly don't meet the standard of the postmodern era and the technology that we have in place.
Right.
So we have to think very differently about what we're doing. And I'm so proud of President Obama and his administration for making this, what he went out on.
That's right.
So that we are confronting the issues
addressing
for Black boys, for Hispanic boys in our country, men of color in general in our country, because it's a really important matter.
It is. It's so, there's a whole conversation to be had on that.
But the Bible says, it does say spare the rod, spoil the child, but it also says train up a child in the way that he should go.
That's right.
And certainly Silos, Seminars in Lieu of Suspensions, does that. It instead of just being a punitive thing, it trains up the young person in the way that they should go.
Exactly.
As opposed to just having them sit at home and fester and think of ways to come back and shoot the school up.
Right. Yeah, it's so true.
I mean, that's what we're dealing with today.
You're absolutely right.
We send them home and they're on the internet thinking of ways
and they have
to get back at everybody.
That's right.
And then we wonder why we're using an antiquated system for a society that has changed dramatically.
Absolutely.
So we're sending, back then they didn't have the internet. So a young person might have been able to go home and read books.
That's true.
The only books that were in the house. And you had control over that.
Right, yeah, absolutely.
Now we're sending them home and they're looking up how to create pipe bombs.
The whole world is theirs, right.
Okay, they're looking up how to access a gun.
Right.
Right under their parents' roof.
Right.
Using their parents' electricity and their parents' Wi-Fi.
Right.
Okay? So we're sending the young person home to be unsupervised and to let their mind drift.
Yeah.
And then we wonder why all of these things are happening in the United States of America, because we have policies in place that put our children in those positions.
Right. Wow.
We shouldn't be shocked about
the
outcomes.
You're right. It's so true. Wow.
We should not be shocked about the outcomes.
Wow. So as you can see, Billy Moss is on it.
So I'm about change. I'm about making smart decisions.
That's right. And that brings me to
last.
another position you have, president of the Islip Town Branch NAACP.
Yes, yes.
So tell us a little bit about that. We have like 5 minutes or so, maybe like 2 minutes, 3 minutes or so. Tell us about the NAACP, why people should join, and the things that you do in the community in relation to that.
Absolutely. We do a lot of educating. We have presentations on how to interact with the police. We have presentations on, various things. The Human Rights Commission. In other words, we teach people how to access the civil rights tools that were left to us by Martin and Malcolm and everybody who really did a lot of work in the 60s and 70s to make sure that we have. And certainly, I believe since that time, we haven't been hustling the way we need to make sure that our children and grandchildren have more.
Have more, right, yes. Not the same.
Not the same.
But more.
But more. And some of our apathy has allowed, encroachments to go on with some of those things that we do have. And so the NAACP does a lot of educating on the community about what we do have, the tools that were put in place with the Human Rights Commission, with all the different commissions in place in various states and the federal government, that where we are able to file complaints about racism, about sexism, about religious discrimination, free of charge, and actually have monetary results. Government agencies and companies can be forced to pay if they were breaking these rules. Yeah.
People don't really know that.
People don't know that. People don't know that. And that's one of the things that the NAACP does is educate about civil rights and the options that people have when they are discriminated against. So that's one of the major reasons to be involved in the NAACP, because you need to be involved in that discussion.
That's right.
You need to know what your civil rights are and what the resources are in your community, right in your state office or your county office.
How can people join the NAACP?
Sure.
Because that's important. I think we should all be members.
Well, our branch, the Islip Town branch, the website is islipnaacp.org, but there's also a state website, nysnaacp.org, that people can go to if they're not, a resident of Islip Town, to find out what their branch is. And to contact their branch, is a branch directory that's online that individuals can access. And, Google and Yahoo, you just Google it or Yahoo it, and you'll find the websites.
That's
it's really easy to get involved.
And tell us about the upcoming event that you're having, the gala.
Yeah,
I'm going to go this year.
Oh,
I didn't go last year. I'm going to go this year.
It's a good time. We have a good time. So each year since I've been president, I wanted to do a lot of good work, and you can't do work without money. So our annual fundraiser is January 19th.
January 19th.
Made it a good day, 11919.
Okay.
I'm a numbers guy, so you can remember that number. But you can also access tickets and stuff like that on our website.
On the website.
And contact information is there if you just want to purchase or be a sponsor and support civil rights in your community. That's there too. But our gala is awesome. Our keynote speaker is
and I'm a Jets fan. So.
Oh, you're a Jets fan? Oh, Colette Smith, the first female Jets coach in the history of the Jets. She's only the third woman of all time to coach.
That's awesome.
To coach any NFL team in the United States, and certainly the first African American, first woman of color to break that glass ceiling and be a coach for the NFL.
Yeah, crazy.
Isn't it amazing?
It is amazing. It's crazy that she's the first.
In 2017.
That's right.
2017 was, it is crazy that she's the first, but it's just such a wonderful, wonderful milestone.
Yeah, I'm excited.
And so we'll be celebrating that on January 19th.
January 19th. So make sure you guys go to the website. So we are out of time. I'm so happy. We had Keisha here. We had Billy here. A great, great show. And our educator spotlight. Thank you for all the work that you do.
Sure, absolutely. Thank you for having me
yes,
here.
I'm so excited. So I want to wish everyone a good night, and thank you for watching Conversations with Verdel Jones, and we will see you next time.